Lindsey Lohan left rehab yesterday. What's the significance for us, you ask? Well, not really very much. However, what's interesting while she's been in rehab this time is, first of all, she was there for 2 months. She was only supposed to be there for a month, but stayed an extra month so that she could get extra better, apparently. She met her father while she was in rehab. She hadn't seen her father for 3.5 years, and he'd been writing to her from prison and talking to the tabloids and pretty much anybody who'd listen. And now that she's in rehab, her father contacted her and she wanted to, quote-unquote, mend her family problems. And apparently her mom thought it was a good idea, although I'm not exactly sure she does. Because I think the motives behind both the mother and the father are a little sketchy at best. Also, while she was in rehab, the wife of one of the other people who was in rehab accused Lindsey of breaking up her marriage for some sort of affair that may or may not have happened while she was in rehab. Lindsey's mum on the idea, but the mum says that Lindsey was solely responsible for breaking up her marriage. She also met someone while she was in rehab, and apparently the snowboarder and her are now an item, and she's not talking about him very much, which I think is a good thing, but she did mention his name, and everybody knows who she is, and pictures of the two of them are all over the place. Lastly, Lindsey, the first thing she did when she left rehab, in fact, she didn't even leave rehab when she did this, was she gave an interview to OK Magazine where she talked about what happened to her in rehab and where she thinks she's going to go and all the friends that she feels like weren't really her friends. And and also that she's realized that she doesn't want to be distracted because her talent is a gift and she wants to use it to the best of her abilities. So I think it should be interesting to see what happens. She's going to be filming a movie in the next couple weeks. It's not a starring role, but it's going to be a supporting role. And once she's done with that, the movie happens to also be where she's staying right now because she's afraid to be in Los Angeles or anywhere on the West Coast or the East Coast. For that matter, but I think once she's done with that movie, we'll have a clearer picture of what's happening with Lindsey. But for right now, the girl is still a mess.